Hello, everyone. Welcome to A One-to-One With. My name is Mark, and I hold the digital marketing seat in BNI Northern Lights in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. My company is called Funky Moose Digital, and we offer our online marketing skills to roofing companies and renovation contractors. Today, I have a one-to-one with Teah Sarchuk. She is a member of BNI Impact in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and she holds the social media seat. Now, before we jump into this 60-second introduction, please make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, share it with your chapter. So, Teah, can you do your 60-second introduction?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Teah Sarchuk with Socialish, and we are the digital marketers of my chapter. We focus on small to startup businesses, helping them to manage their own social media, and then also taking over that role for them when they're ready. And we do everything from content creation to daily engagement and walk them through the analytics and what it all means other than just a bunch of numbers. So that's what we're all about.
Awesome. So let's dive into your gains sheet, which is a little different than how we do it. So I found this interesting.
Yeah, our VP put it together for us.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, so we don't really do the personal and professional columns, but I like this. I might actually do this in our chapter too. So the G for goals, you want to retire by the time you're 50 and live part-time on a beach.
Yeah, I was born in Mexico. My dad's side of the family is from there, and I don't do well in cold. And living in Winnipeg, you get a lot of cold. So the
Yeah.
goal is to retire and have no worries living on a beach somewhere by the time that I'm 50. And so far,
So
it's going on track.
that beach, is that a Mexican beach or any beach?
You know what? I don't discriminate against beaches. Whichever beach is there, I will go to.
Fair. Yeah. And then professionally, um, can you tell me about that? Do you know what it says?
Is it to move Socialish into a coaching and consulting business?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's the long-term goal.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so my passion really lies in educating other people, and um, I get fulfillment knowing that I've actually given them something attainable to do themselves. So with social media, it's always so mind-boggling to me how it can be so confusing for some people. And I think it might just be because of my age, but I grew up with social media. It was always something that we were on and we were a part of. And so for me, it's just second nature. And I understand the ins and outs, and I'm very, for me, it's easy to stay on top of the trends and the updates and what's happening and how to utilize it properly. So for me, I would really love to be able to work with those startup businesses, the smaller 1 to 2 employee businesses, and really help them better understand social media and what they can do to stand out from their competition and attract the audience that they actually want to attract, and just give them kind of the right tools and the right process to follow in order to be successful with that.
Very cool. Yeah, I think coaching is kind of a specialty in some people. Not a lot of people. Not everybody can coach or teach someone. So yeah, that's very cool. As for achievements, personally, you created a healthy work-life balance that fulfills you, and you hiked up to the Hollywood sign.
I did. That one was harder than the work-life balance, it feels like some days. But yeah, no, my partner, he does real estate, and his goal when he started that was to really have a healthy work-life balance, which is hard when people are expecting to hear from you 24/7. And same thing
Yeah.
when you do something like we do with digital marketing, you're always on your computer or your phone, so people know that they can get a hold of you all the time. So for me, it was really about setting the boundaries, and I prioritize my family a lot. So being able to have that time with them where I'm not distracted by my computer that's a few feet away from me, that's really important. So being able to actually achieve that quite early in my career has been an accomplishment that I've found in myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. We, right before we started recording, you were telling me that your daughter is in daycare until noon, and then you're part-time mom the rest of the day.
Yeah, I promised her a day of fun, and it's very nice out for this time of year over here, so we're gonna go make the best of it.
Um, and then you professionally, you've been featured on radio talk shows and speaking engagements. How do you go about get landing those gigs? Is that people reaching out to you, or the other way around? How does
So,
that work?
for the radio talk shows, there's a local radio station in Winnipeg, and one of the hosts has reached out to me just from us interacting on social media. He likes what I do and what I'm all about, so he's invited me to be on his show a couple of times, which has been really awesome for increasing brand awareness. And when I am hosting my own workshops and speaking engagements, promoting that has been really great. I feel like I was blessed with the I like to public speak. It doesn't really make me that nervous. So whenever I have a chance to be a part of something where I'm in front of a bunch of people, it's very exciting for me. So I love that.
That's that's a superpower, I think, because there are so
I
many
think
people
so.
that as soon as they have to stand up and say something, it's like they
Yeah.
shut down. So yeah, that's very good. So you host your own workshops and things like that. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah. So the last one that we did was we had a bunch of other BNI members a part of it as speakers. So I think there was 7 of us total, and all touching on different areas of digital marketing. So I touched on social media. We had a website, a designer, SEO, a brand photographer to populate your social pages and your website. So we just kind of took our audience through the journey from branding to promotional products and what they can expect, some tidbits to take back to their boss or their offices, and just kind of educate everybody on things that are going on in the space that they might not have been aware of.
And do you do that on a regular basis? Is that like a monthly thing, or once a quarter, or once a year?
Not that that one was a big one, so that's more of a yearly thing.
Yeah, yeah.
We do quarterly, we do smaller workshops. Last one that I did was for about 10 people, and it was all about content creation, do's and don'ts, and how you can create your content to make you stand out in your field. There's so many professions where people are having to brand themselves outside of their main office or brokerage in order to attract clients, like realtors or car salesmen, stuff like that. So, how do you
Mhm.
actually stand out in that field? And what kind of content can you be creating to help support that?
Right, right. So do you have any nuggets for us right now that you can maybe share? I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I
want
always
I
I
don't want you to
always ask.
give away the whole thing, but you know.
No, one that I think is really important for people to start thinking about is, if you couldn't speak about your business or your services, what would you speak about?
Oh,
Because in
interesting.
order to attract the fish to your boat, you need to put down the bait, right? So what is your target audience? What are their interests? And then it goes back to, your ICP, your ideal customer profile. What are they interested in? Because if you can hone that and start posting about that kind of stuff, they're going to be attracted to your page, and then they're going to see, oh, this person also has a service that I need. They have
Right.
similar interests of me. I'm going to reach out. They seem like a good person, a good business, relatable. Um, People want to connect with people at the end of the day. So the more that you can actually showcase that you are a person and you have interests and these are what they are, people are going to connect with that way more easier than if you're just promoting your most recent sale.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we say that all the time to our clients. There are a lot of clients that just want to push their business, push sales, push this, push whatever, and it's like, well, do you want people to unsubscribe or unfollow you? Because that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you need to. So we're big on storytelling.
Yeah.
Tell a story. But yeah, don't just push your sales because nobody cares really in the end.
Yeah. You will lose people very easily.
Yeah, exactly. As for your interests, personally, you like to travel and learning different things about different cultures. So, which culture is the most interesting to you or that you learned about so far?
I would have to say I'm really into my partner. He's from Croatia, so I always hear a lot of stories about his from his parents when they were living over there and they were growing up, and what were kind of common practices. And for instance, when they went to school, you had an AM shift and then a PM shift. So the AM kids would go from like 8 to 12, and then the PM would go from like 12 to 5 or something. And they did that so kids had a good balance of work, but also play or focusing on other interests outside of academics. So I found different in Europe, they have a different way of raising their kids versus how we traditionally do it over here. So that's been the most interesting to me, I think. Um, I'm very open minded. It's always like hearing different ways that you could do something or how somebody else might be doing it. And it might just work better for you.
Yeah, very cool. And then for personal, you have a big giant X. What does that mean?
I don't know. He didn't give us a spot to fill out, so I think that's why he put an X there. I did not put the X there.
Oh, okay. Because I'm
Yeah.
like, it's about interests. And I'm like, okay, so personally you have interests, but business, you don't?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if I had to pick an answer, it would be just learning about people's businesses and why they started it. That's
Yeah.
one of the fun things with the coaching sessions is I'll be talking to somebody and like, well, why did you start your business? Or what's your favorite part about your business? And most of the time that doesn't actually translate into what they're doing on social media.
Yep.
So right there, it's a huge like aha moment for them
Yeah.
and they love it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then for networks, you have BNI Impact, obviously. But I
Mhm.
want to keep talking about um, the difference of the difference between people's interests and what that looks like on social media.
I think a big hesitant for a lot of business owners, and I'm the same on my socials. I don't share anything about my family. That's just my choice. And I think when
Yep.
people hear that you need to be personal on social media, they think, oh, I have to post pictures of my kids. I have to post what I'm doing on the weekends. And you don't have to do that. But we want to know more about you, like if you like to read, what's your favorite bookstore maybe in your area you can connect with and cross collaborate with. Like there's so many different opportunities for building your community on social media by really putting your interests into that plan. A lot of people forget that social media was created to be a social platform, and you were to add your friends and share what you're doing with them and have excitement behind it, not just sell, right? Which is really what
Yep.
it's turned into. So yeah, just
Yep.
integrating your interest into your content is going to help give your audience a nice balance of content and also let them feel like they get to know you a bit more.
Yep. I do post a lot on my personal Facebook profile, but it's
What?
all about my journey as a business owner, kind of, and the conversations I have with clients, for example. But there's also the odd, book that I'm reading, a picture of a book that I'm reading, or when we go see a show, like a band or whatever, you'll see a picture of that here and there, so that people know what I'm into, even after 5 o'clock or whenever I decide to quit working. Yeah, no, I'm on board with that. Where people should show more of themselves, because, like you said, people want to do business with people, not with a faceless corporation. Because that's what a lot of even small businesses look like on social media. They look like they are corporations, even though it's run by one person.
Exactly. And with a lot of the smaller businesses that I do like coaching sessions with, it always ties back to BNI and our 60 seconds. You mentioned storytelling. And I always try in my weekly presentations, I try and tell a different story from either the past week or the past month or whatever it may be. Why the client came to me, what their situation was, what service was best suited for them, and what the outcome was. Because the more you're able to give your audience, no matter if that's on social media or BNI, the emotion behind the reason, then people are able to make those connections and they go, oh, well, I know somebody that's going on vacation and needs somebody to handle their social media while they're away, something like that.
Yeah.
So anytime
Yeah.
you can add that story and those emotions and just give people that picture in their head, it's going to really help them actually be engaged with what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So why BNI for you?
I
Why
like
are you in BNI? What is the reason?
So when I first started BNI, it was really just to promote my business and be connected with other business owners in my area, build that brand awareness. Um, but now it's more so for that connection piece that I've gotten from being a part of my chapter and having now friends in my chapter. And um, my daughter, she's 3. So when I first joined, it was a great escape, so to say. I could actually speak to adults about business and what was going on in my life and their life. So it's definitely shifted a little bit from what I thought I was joining for versus what it really is now, which is really, really nice to see. But I kind of going back to my personal achievement of having that nice work-life balance. BNI has allowed me to do that because now I'm generating more business, which means I can pay an assistant, to take care of those behind the scene things. So it's all played into kind of the long-term goal of having a sustainable business and being able to close my computer at the end of the day and not have to think twice about it.
Yeah. It's funny that you mention that you're talking to grown-ups because there was a visitor at our chapter this week, and I had a chat with her after, and she's a dog trainer. And the reason why she is anticipating on joining BNI is because not just for referrals, because referrals are great, but she's like, I talk to dogs all day. It would be great if I can just talk to people every once in a while. So yeah, that's a good reason to be in BNI, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we're just about out of time here. Where can people find you, and if people want to either book a one-to-one with you or just get in touch with you, how can people do that?
Yeah, so they can always visit my website, socialishco.com. You can also find me on social media, socialish.co. Send me a message that way. It's probably the easiest way. I often check my inboxes. So yeah, either website, you can find my email there, or you can message me on social media.
Awesome. Well, Teah, thank you for joining me and making time for doing this. I hope uh, this video is one of many, and I think you and I will be talking about more stuff later. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.